More than a sport, more than a hobby. For some, cycling's a passion. Today we meet Johan Ribbens. He's been cycling for 26 years and co-owns a specialist bike shop.
You obviously know a lot about bicycles. What role does a good bike play in the success of an athlete?
It's almost impossible to measure, but I can tell you that what we sell here is more than bicycles. It's like let's sell the feel good. You have to feel good about your bicycle. If you feel good on your bicycle, you will perform better. And we try to get products across that gives you that feel good feeling when you get onto it.
In your opinion, what defines a good quality bicycle?
What we find here is the question is not always what is a good bicycle, but what is a good bicycle for you? What is a good bicycle for me? And that is why there's more than 100 bicycles on the market. So really you have to determine what do you want. And find a dealer that's, especially if you're first time buyer, find a dealer that's got a pedigree of cycling, of a guy that's there to look after you, not a guy that's just giving you the bike.
And for those guys that already got their bikes, what advice can you give them to successfully finish this weekend?
Take it to the store, get your service in, but check for yourself. There's the basic things. Don't open your electronics yourself, but a basic thing is, I know it was at the store, but recheck to be sure that they didn't miss something on the tire, so that if you see something is not right at the start, that you can fix it yourself.
On race day, get an early start, so you don't need to sweat the small stuff like finding parking. Before you leave home, do a last check to make sure you've packed all the gear you need.
Gareth, Johan mentioned that you need to have a good bike and you need to make sure that it's in a working order, but what about the guy on the bike? What advice can you give?
Look, I think for the recreational rider out there's three aspects that they really need to look at. One is investing time in their training to make sure they're physically prepared for the activity that lies ahead. The second thing is obviously making sure their equipment is up to scratch. It's well serviced, it's also in good shape. Then also making sure their supplementation is specific to their goal. So you're going to have to watch your pre-event supplementation to make sure you carb load effectively, your intra-event supplementation to make sure you give your system the energy that it needs to perform at that higher level, and then also post-workout you need to assist with the recovery cycle to make sure that in a couple of days' time you can get back on the bike again and it's comfortable.
Gareth, talk us through the basic nutritional principles that someone needs to adhere to the week before the race.
But make sure you're focusing on low GI complex carbohydrates with every meal. Get as much green vegetables in as you can, and then maybe your protein sources, don't focus towards the red meat. Stick with fish, chicken, and maybe some egg whites as well. It's very easy to digest and you don't feel quite as heavy.
Cycling greats may thank their parents for a good set of genes, but cannot rely on nature's gifts alone. They also need to be light and lean with no extra fat mass. This requires discipline.
When it comes to supplementation, what is it that you like to use?
There's some people that say you waste your money with supplements and it won't make a big difference, but if you're going for the win, I can't imagine that you can't supplement, and even if you're just going for a finish, got its place as well. Currently I'm using the Epic Pro, which I find extremely good.
And what are some of the supplements that guys can use pre, during and also post-race?
Have a look at your Enduro Carbs as a pre-event product, a carbo loader, Cytopower HP during the ride, and you can maybe even mix it up a little bit with BCA Vitago, and then Recover Max post-event. For the more serious athlete that's looking maybe at a time or professional athlete, have a look at Sprint Pro as a more probably towards the end of your event. That's going to give you a much stronger finish to make sure that if it is the sprint finish, you're going to be competitive. Epic Pro all-in-one during the event, and you can take Epic Pro all-in-one pre-event as well.
How different are those two really, Epic Pro and Sprint Pro?
They're vastly different products, and I think it's very, very important that the consumers understand that. The Epic Pro all-in-one is a combination of Vitago, palatinose, and waxy maize starch, which are complex carbohydrates that allow your system to digest that carbohydrate or energy source over a longer period of time. So yes, it makes you feel fuller, but it doesn't spike your blood sugar level. Now Sprint Pro, that is a combination of your carbohydrates plus your stimulants, which is caffeine, plus you've got some nitric oxide boosted in there as well. So it's really a performance-based product that increases your energy level sharply so that you can perform at your peak in a very short period of time.
When exactly would you use that?
Look, if you're going to have a stage race, if it's going to be a longer event, then you're going to take it more towards the end, maybe the last 45 minutes, you're going to start sipping on it, and that's going to prepare you for the sprint finish, to make sure you've got maximum energy output. But if it's a time trial, it's a very, very short event, you're going to use it throughout.
Chat to an expert about the supplement right for you on usn.coza and get out there and have the summer of your life while transforming your body and reaching your fitness goals.